Okay, so here we are in my little front room. I wasn't able to get into the studio this time. We started off with a roll down, just as an evaluation to come back to right at the end. And again, it's exam setting time, so the client has been sitting at a table for a while and the back has seized up again. So he can definitely feel it here, all stiff and with some mild pain on the day. And we took him down onto the mat to lie supine with the legs stretched out. And just started speaking through diaphragmatic breathing with him, just encouraging him to breathe his full inhale and his full exhale, and just spending time observing what he felt in his body as he was trying to relax in that position. It was an uncomfortable position for him. He wasn't able to make any adjustments with the pelvis and that little arch in the back with the stiffness, the tilt in the pelvis, excuse me, also just added to his feeling of uncomfortableness. So we moved from straight legs into bent knees, and this he felt obviously eased off that lower back a little bit. So I could think a little bit more about the breathing. And just getting a little bit more movement into the lower back. He felt this was easier. He was able to breathe a little deeper. And then from bent knees, we had him hug those knees into his chest. And just kept observing and educating about breath and the diaphragm and about the pelvic floor being the second diaphragm. Just explaining that breath on the inhale, trying to release into the pelvis, pelvic floor, how the diaphragm moves, how the pelvic floor moves. And then encouraging him to take longer inhales and exhales. Just breathing in quite a lot and not focusing on the exhale. So we just try to get the exhale. And then also not to hold his breath. I was tending to breathe in and hold. So just educating but finding the end of his inhale and then going to where he can't breathe out anymore. And then we moved from supine into prone. And just resting in that position, trying to encourage him to relax the glutes, relax the legs, the neck and the shoulders, and to try to feel what he feels like with a different point of contact of his body on the floor. So breathing into the stomach, into the mat, and also the back and the side, into the ribs. Full 360 degrees of breath. after we were in the prone position, we went into child's pose, and for David in the child's pose, he felt really uncomfortable, and I took him into the knees closed position in child's pose towards the end. I should have done that in the beginning as well. So that open knee position with the feet together in child's pose was not comfortable for him. That he felt in his back. Just got his hands under his forehead here to try to rest the neck. And then I didn't take him into the squat. I felt this was enough. Enough positions to go through MAP1 with him, to check his breathing, to check his posture, and just to evaluate where his restrictions were. And so from that, we'll go into creating space. So focusing on the core line, I'm just going to talk ahead already. We rolled out the feet in the previous video, and that's great, but we had him on the mat. So I thought instead of getting him up and down at all with his back, we stayed seated and started to manually work into the tibialis posterior. Just finding the inside of that bone and rubbing from the ankle up towards the knee. And I should have recorded the second side. We only recorded the first side. So this was all new to him and tended to go up into the shoulders as he was working. So lost the breathing while he was creating space. Just gliding into that tibialis posterior, up to the knee. I had to just keep encouraging him to continue his breathing, not to take that breath and that tension up into the shoulders and the neck as he was using his body to create that space, to hydrate into his tibialis posterior. And I just started demonstrating there to him. So instead of doing circular rubbing motions, we just got those two thumbs in and glided up. And then from there we moved on, which is coming, the manual inner thigh. We made fists and just moved from the knee towards the groin, hydrating into the inner thigh, just focusing on this core line, diaphragm being the core of the core, and trying to just focus on breath in this session. And there went those shoulders. And we got the breathing in the shoulders better on the other side, which I did not record. And after we'd massaged or hydrated the inner thighs, the adductors, I could see he was uncomfortable in the sitting position on the mat, so I just got him a little stool to lift him up, so he didn't feel he had to work to sit up straight to continue creating space in his body. And my spiky balls are in the studio, so I would have preferred to have used the spiky balls for the masseter and temporalis muscle, but we may do with our fingers. All right, so here he is elevated, and then just working into the masseter. A bit of a pinch and a pull, and that's some deep rubbing. In the beginning, he thought he was putting moisturizer on. To explain where that masseter muscle is in his jaw. And then we moved on to the temporalis. Sorry. I find a bit of pressure around the temporal region. And then to finish off in the seated position, we focused on loosening into the tongue. See this delicious tongue coming out, and just asking him to stretch it out and make a nice big circular motion, and reaching around as far as he can, just trying to create more space in that core line. And then from there, I moved him back into a prone position with a tennis ball. That's not a, oh, I made him pendiculate a little bit first. And then we got the tennis ball into the psoas. And just had him breathe in and relax over the ball as he exhaled. And breathing into the ball. So it's a really nice kinetic thing to focus on and help find breath a little bit further down when there is a physical thing that you can locate along the body. And then just that exhaling, you can really feel how the exhale allows the body to wrap around the ball and sink into the psoas. And I just recorded the one side, but we did do the other side as well. Yeah, we had a nice amount of time over this ball, just trying to kick out that psoas to help with the lower back. And then we had him turn back over. Oh, sorry. I guess I could have cut this for you. Right, we're going to go back into checking breath. That's evaluation. Points lying supine. And he felt so much more comfortable lying in this position where he really didn't enjoy it before. He felt like he could move a little bit in the pelvic region into that lower back. So he was a bit more comfortable, was able to breathe better with his legs stretched out. And then we brought up those knees. We checked again. And I think in general he just felt more relaxed, able to access the breath. He felt a bit more released. And we took the knees into his chest afterwards, and he didn't feel like he could breathe any better when he had his knees hugged into his chest, which I found a little strange. So maybe he hadn't quite found the connection with the pelvic floor. And then we went back into the prone position. And again, he just could feel that he could expand a bit more into his breath. And then when I took him into child's pose, this is when I, asked him how he felt, and he didn't like the position with the knees open. And although you can access your breathing better with the knees open, I had him close his knees just to take the tension out of the lower back. And he felt he could breathe better with the knees closed and not feel the tension in the lower back. Just try to encourage a little bit more knee flexion as well, to get his bottom a little closer towards the heels. And then before we re-evaluated the roll down, I had him stand and first do a psoas stocking pull or rub. We had him lean forwards and then just roll up the psoas skin in the fold of the hip. And then I try to encourage him to use the glutes to press forwards and then pull up and release the psoas stocking. I did this a few times. Roll, roll, roll. Engage the glutes and stand. And using his breath just to expand into the pull. And we re-evaluated the roll down. And he felt much easier movement-wise, freedom of movement in his body, less stiffness, space to move.